For this question, I've written up 3 examples of rhythms on the board here. One's in 4/4, there's 3/4 and 2/4. What you've got to do is count the rhythm out. So pause the video, give it a go, and then I'll show you the answer. So the first example up here is 4/4, meaning there's 4 quarter notes or 4 crotchets, or something equal to that per bar. So it's 2 bars long. So here's our first bar. Now for the quavers, these 2 make the first beat, so we count that 1, then and. And remember, we put a plus sign to mean and. So this would be the 2, and it's a whole beat. That's the 3, that's another whole beat for the crotchet there, and then that's going to be 4 and. The second bar here, there's the 1. Now that's a crotchet rest, this would be the second beat. So if we can put a 2 under there. Now I'll put it in brackets to remind it's not going to be played or sounded. And this one would be 3 and that would be the 4. So if I was counting that rhythm out, and I'll clap it through just so you can kind of hear how it would sound. It goes 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, the rest, then 3 and 4. The next example up here is in 3/4. So this crotchet here would be the first beat, that would be the second beat, and it's a minim, so it lasts for the third beat as well. So we could go and put a 3 in there in brackets to remind us, leave the gap. You don't have to. This would be the 1, it'll last for the 2, so that would make this 3 and. This would go 1 and 2 and that would be the 3, the rest there, so we could put 3 and put it in brackets. The last one's a dotted minim, that lasts for all 3, so that'll be on the 1, then there'd be space for 2 and 3. So if I clap that rhythm out, it would go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3. And notice for that rest there, I didn't clap it. A thing I used to do when I was young would bring my hands apart to remind me, leave the gap there, it's a rest. Now the last example down here is in 2/4, and it's actually 4 bars long, so it's getting a bit longer. The first bar would just be counted 1 and 2 and. Now this bar's a little bit trickier. It's got a quaver by itself. Remember, that's when there's 2 of these together, you count them 1 and. In this case, that's going to be the 1, and half a beat after the 1 is still an and. Now having a crotchet on an and would mean that this one would last for a whole beat, so it would cover the 2 and then that will be the and. It's a bit of an interesting rhythm there. This one here would just be on the 1, leave the space for the 2, rest on the 1 and then play on the 2 here. So I'll clap that one out for you. That would go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, rest, then the 2. So there you have it, that's how you would count those rhythms.